Welcome to Mr. Moon has left the building with me and Addy. How are you, Ad? You good?
We're back. Yeah, I'm good, mate. How you doing?
I'm good. Today's topic is a big one, I think. We haven't discussed it. I've done a little video on it myself when it had happened, but we haven't discussed the fans' letter to the board, obviously, last week, which is backed by lots of different fan groups. I think it was about 20 different fan groups have all got together. It's in unison. They sent a letter to the board of no confidence, basically, and they've asked them to step down. Don't honestly know how that works, to be honest with you, because, well, I suppose that's the discussion, actually. What do we think's going to happen? I've not heard anything about it since the day. Does it go away? Are the board going to respond? I don't actually know is the answer. And obviously protests are now planned and will be going ahead. Obviously, I would think they're going to get, the hope is that the protests are going to attract media. And it's going to be a bit of the slog that I didn't want to happen, to be honest with you. But it looks like it is going to happen, and probably a lot more organised than it's ever been. Because it's not just a group of fans; they're fans like organisations that are involved. So you would think it's going to be very, very organised. You would think they're probably going to get the media involved in it. That's what they want. And where do you reckon we go from here?
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. I mean, I guess firstly, just think about what the content, the letter they wrote, I thought it was quite well written, to be fair.
So did I, but that's where you can see it's organised.
Yeah, it's quite well written, and it sounds like they, we're trying to get them to step aside from the running of the football club. And I think, I'm not sure, I can't remember now what it said in the letter, but I don't think it mentioned them necessarily leaving the club, but they do want them to step down from the football side of things, which I feel is fair. These things are only gonna move the needle, make a change if everyone stays together and keeps staying together. Obviously, we've had protests in the past, and they sort of just dwindle away, and nothing. There's no change.
Well, so they usually change when they start winning. They start winning a couple of games, and that's actually where people go, "Oh, okay, well." But what was funny is they done that after the Forest win, so it was like saying this win isn't going to go away. Get us to go away right now. We're in this for the long haul. Now we've seen lots of fan protests at different clubs. Manchester United for years, Newcastle. Spurs have actually got their way, really. Newcastle was years it went on for, didn't it? Manchester United has been years. It goes sort of away, comes back, goes away. And it's not productive for the club, like a civil war inside. It doesn't attract players to you, it doesn't attract managers to you. And I would think it's not a great diversion for the players either. I wouldn't think it's not good for anyone, to be honest with you. I just wonder where it's going to go from here now, because I agree that the fans have said, look, I say it was a well written where it wasn't attacking them personally, their characters and things like that, which is all silly, like when people start doing that. It was actually saying, look, we're in a bad shape. We are. There's no lying. There is failures. Our recruitment, number one, is disgraceful. It is disgraceful. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I saw Gabby Bonglahor this week talking about Fulkrug and Tadibo. He just said, how are these two players got to West Ham, like at that age, like Fulkrug? And when you look at it, and that was under Steiden, obviously, but obviously Steiden never had no guidelines. Maybe he did. That's what we want to know. But then if he did, why would you have bought it? Our guideline, our first bid that year was John Duran, who was 21 with resale value, and pace and can play out front, to a man that's 32 years of age after a load of injuries. It doesn't make sense. It's scattergun recruitment, and it's not good enough because we're paying the price of that now because we haven't got the money. And I really do think this is a real pivotal week for West Ham. I really do think it is. We've got Spurs coming up this week. Now, if we get a win, that could change the season. We have got two new midfielders, which was a different. We get a big loss, and I think that it could be all-out war. I'm worried. I'm really worried for the club. I am now.
Yeah, but I'm definitely in the camp where change has got to happen, and it doesn't seem like we will get any change unless we try and do something about it. And I think, we've been saying for weeks that we feel the fans are the most disillusioned they've been in a long, long time, and they're just completely fed up. And it does seem, they're rallying together, and they realise that the only way they're going to get change is to try and force it. But like you said, it's not positive for the club, but it might be the only way they see change. So
I just don't understand why the club doesn't want to put in a formula and process. That's the bit I can't understand. That's what I'd love to hear from the club is, why do you want it all on your backs? Like Mr. Sullivan went, what is it? I'm sure he doesn't want people angry with him. I'm sure he doesn't. No one wants that. Imagine being a West Ham fan and the fan base don't like you, right? It can't be nice feeling for anyone.
Of course not. But then you'd think, surely you'd get in, a CEO to run the club, and you have. Obviously,
and he actually enjoy it.
Do you know what I mean?
Go there with your family and enjoy running the club. And I do think it's a shame it's gone this long, but I do think that is a genuine thing that could happen. I don't think it's that hard to do. I think West Ham fans are reasonable if they come out and spoke to them. And listen, the worst thing is Karen Brady's things with the world-class stadium, right? She said it 10 years ago as well. So she probably believed it when she said it, but now that word will always come back. Well, it's not a world-class stadium. When we're winning in it, it felt great. So I will give them that sense. And also, they've done it to push West Ham on, to get us bigger, more attendances, more money. There was a reason for it. I'm not saying they're right, I'm not saying they're wrong either way. I know the fans are upset about it, but Upton Park was falling apart, and it was a dump of a ground, really. I loved it, loved the nostalgia of it, but you couldn't progress in that stadium. But I do think there is a real easy way for the club, for Sullivan, Brady, all of them, to sit down and say, right, we're going to implement a 10-year plan for West Ham. Our ultimate goal is that someone's going to come and buy it, but we've got to make it more attractive to buy it. This is how we're going to do it. And I really think you could knock it up over an afternoon with tea and biscuits. It's that simple. Now, obviously, you're going to have ups and downs and peaks and troughs in that, but if you've got a philosophy and a plan, which we have none, we call ourselves the Academy of Football. We're no Academy of Football. We don't produce players. We haven't produced players for years. So, and I see West Ham fans, Potts and everyone else should be playing every week. They're not good enough. That's the harsh reality of it. Graham Potter don't think they're good enough for his job to be on the line. David Moyes didn't. Lopetegui didn't. So everyone can't be wrong. We can't just say just because they're from the academy, they got to be played. Because then if you go down, then you say, well, why do we go down? So yes, I do. I would like to see them given chances, things like that. But we've got to produce better players. Listen, the boy who plays for Liverpool, Rio, and I don't know how to say his surname.
Let you try that.
Nguma? Is it Nguma?
Yeah, it's similar to that.
I don't actually know it. And so him is from Forest Gate.
I know.
We should be looking at that. I know he was at Chelsea and they poached him off him. Why is he not a West Ham? How do we sort that academy out? How do we put someone in charge of it to take it forward? How do we go and get Tony Carr back? Bring him back. Train someone. Tone, we're going to give you a big payoff for it, and speak to the fans. Say, right, this is what we're spending money on in the next few years. We've got to get player sales up. This is where we're going to go. This is the structure. Are you happy with that, West Ham fans? Okay, yes, we're in. And then you stick to it.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. I just implore the club to do that rather than, look, we all want a Saudi to come in and take us over. But that ain't happening. We don't own our ground. We've been in this ground for 10 years now. I thought, is it the time of moaning about the ground? It's gone. We've got to let it go now. We're not going back. Knocked it down. So we've got to just get on with it, haven't we?
Yeah, but like
With
the
that.
smaller clubs, you know, like we've mentioned before, the Brentfords, the Brightons, the Bournemouth, they have proved you can be successful with a plan and a philosophy and not spend fortunes. You don't need to spend fortunes. You just have to have the right people in place and the right people working for the football club, and you could be successful. Okay, none of those clubs are super successful yet, but from where they've come from, like Brentford and Bournemouth, they're tiny clubs really.
Yeah,
and they're thriving.
tiny.
They're thriving in the Premier League.
Well, you've got us, people like West Ham, who've been in the Premier League longer than they have, wanting to be them.
Yes, exactly.
We shouldn't, actually, that letter says we shouldn't be looking at Brentford and Brighton longing to be them. Like, we should be bigger than them. We've got a 65,000-seater stadium. We've got a fan base that pack it. We're just getting it wrong. We are. Everything is wrong. And it needs to be ripped up and started again. And I hope the owners will do this before it's too late. Before another big loss comes and it's going to be all-out warfare. Because once these protests start, it's going to then rattle the other fan who wants to cause trouble as well. And we've saw it at Burnley, and we just don't want to get there. It's not what we want. It's not good for the club. It's really not. So yeah, and look, I just think there's a way that our ownership and our fan base can coexist very well and all be happy. I'm convinced of it. I know we can.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all pulling together, isn't it? On the demonstrations, and obviously the Brentford game where, you know, there's a boycott being organised. Obviously, I was listening to Dave and X earlier today, and they were mentioning that, you know, the players are really going to need the fans this season. So, like, games where, you know, the fans are not around for Brentford, for example, is that really going to benefit the club? It's interesting because I do feel things like that, when it'll be noticed on Sky Sports, a big thing will become of it because there'll be no fans there. You know, if it happens.
But I think it'd be more noticeable if you'd done it at home.
Okay.
No, I think it'd be more noticeable if you did it at home rather than away. Because you've got to remember, it's only 2,000 people away. It is Brentford away, isn't it?
No, I think Brentford's a home game.
It is a home game. Right, for some reason I had it in my head that it was going to be away.
Yeah.
So
so it's a home game. But do we, because I can't remember what club it was in the Championship, but they come in after, I think it was after like 9 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
So they didn't miss the game.
But does that work? I don't know. I think the answer is, I do agree, a full boycott of money, it hurts a club. But then it's a big statement.
Well, that's the thing. That it is a big statement.
Because the whole news will be around it. But that's where I say,
and
if I was ownership of West Ham, I would be getting together with the fan groups today to stop this all happening and say, right, here is our plan. We agree it isn't going right. We've made a mistake. We actually did try our best. You know what? We actually thought we were doing the best. No one get it right all the time. And it was going right a couple of years ago. Let's be honest, all of us thought last summer, we are going to push on. We have signed all these players. Every one of us was delighted going into the season. But then we realised what we've actually signed. We went and just bought players. And it just didn't work. So we all are guilty of it, that we push the club, we want more. But sometimes maybe they need to keep us a little bit realistic as we do them. And I think that's if we can get a good line of communication between everyone.
That's the key.
It is. I'm convinced. Well, anyway, we're finishing up there. Let us know your thoughts below. Obviously, this is a huge topic that everyone's got a very similar opinion on it, but very different opinions. We're trying to give a little bit of a smarter option than just say sack the board, because that's a little bit lazy, I think, because it's easy saying that they got to leave. Well, if they leave, who's paying the bills? It's not that easy. You can't, and that's what I want. When you comment, try and have an educated comment of what we could do going forward. Because if there is no one there, a Saudi going, "Oh, I'm going to buy you," it can't be done. So what's the next step? That's what I think. Anyway, well, let us know, and obviously hit subscribe, comment, and we will see you all soon.